Some general impressions of your team. Are you some things you're happy with, some things that still need some work on?
Yeah, just trying to wrap our head around, where we need to apply the most time and effort to at this point. What we recognized from last night's game is that there were some things we went over in preparation for the game that the girls really just, I think, absorbed and executed very, very well. And yet there are other things, especially defensively, that we reviewed. They set a lot of ball screens. They set a lot of staggered screens. They got number 24 open a lot. And that was our main emphasis going into the game. And, we have a system of defending, and we teach it the same every year. And we say, this is how we're going to do this. This is how we're going to defend this play. This is how and you see the same plays over and over. Where we really struggled and where we are struggling is that we are not adhering to those principles. We decide at the last second to do it a different way or what have you, and then our defense breaks down because of that. And quite honestly, we had the same play that we misdefended 5 times last night, the same inbounds play, and it is a play that we run, and so we defend it even against ourselves, and we've always defended it the same way. And yesterday, different people switched and we're supposed to, and we always left somebody open instead of, and even covering it in an inbound, in a timeout, this is what they're going to run, this is how we're going to defend it. And we were unable to adhere to the principles of defending the play. So my question to the players was, why is it that some of the things we give you, you grab a hold of and you really apply yourselves to these principles, and then other principles you're not as diligent about. And in order for us to be successful, you need to be diligent about all of these things. And the best conclusion that I can draw at this point is that when you have kids who've played, year after year, rather than thinking, okay, this is a staggered screen, we're going to chase this, she's going to hedge, rather than that, it becomes second nature because it becomes a habit.
Right.
And at this point, there really aren't any players that have the defensive principles down into a habit. So they have to think on every possession, what is this? This is a stagger. This is a weak side screen. This is a ball screen. And they have to be thinking, how do we defend this? And then we're not getting it right, or we're a step slow, or our response time is not great enough for us to be successful. So what is the answer to that? Well, I think we need to just continue to drill and drill and drill until it becomes second nature to do the things that we're trying to do. And that takes time. And, now we're into games. So as I said last week when I was in here, that we're going to struggle a bit in the beginning of the year. I think that's what we're seeing. And I appreciate that we are still in the game and we're competing. I mean, last night we watched the film right after the game. We missed 27 layups. 27 layups. And I'm not even talking about post-move layups. I'm talking about layups. And we had an opportunity to win even though our defense broke down on numerous occasions. We need to firm up some of this stuff so that we can win some games, because it's going to be a struggle if we can't.
Is it just more drills, or do you hope that by drilling and playing games, your team will catch the defensive principles that you have?
I think both, and I think watching film, really, our kids seem to really respond from seeing themselves on film. I might say in a general statement, listen, we're not chasing the staggered screens. We're supposed to be chasing the staggered screens. We're not chasing them. Okay, that registers. But if I can show it on film and say, Adesua Ademan, you did not chase this stagger screen. Ashanti Abshaw, you did not chase this stagger screen. Now it hits home a little bit more. You can see it. Everybody sees it. And now they don't want to do that again. They don't want to be.
They don't want to be called out.
The moment, the teachable moment. They don't want to be used as a teachable moment. So, so I think the film helps as well. It is just a third way: practice, games, and then film sessions. And so we'll just have to keep taking the time to do all of that.
A lot of layups missed, as you mentioned. What about how do you teach finishing in games when, I mean, there's defenders there, and they're gonna either bump you or try to block your shot or whatever. How do you teach that? Is this another thing where you just got to play and you're gonna learn when it comes back at you?
Yeah, I thought a lot of them were unguarded layups, and
there were a good number.
Yeah, so the difficulty is, do you bump them more, or do then they started expecting the bump, and then when nobody bumps them, they miss it. It's just it's experience, and I think it just happens over time. And we have to drill it. Obviously, we have to drill it. We do it in pre-practice every day, and try to get our team ready for all these situations. And it's just, we just need more drilling, more practice, more experience.
Is it, of the layups you miss, are they younger players? I mean, everybody's young, but I mean, like freshmen maybe more so than others, or is kind of everybody guilty here?
Yeah, we're not playing a lot of the freshmen very many minutes, so I wouldn't say it's any true freshmen. I think it's kids who didn't play last year, and it's kids who are, freshmen, sophomores in game experience. So it's everybody.
Right. What about some of the? Are you happy with? Shade had a good game in the opener. Got in, played last night. She's averaging 7.5 points, 7 rebounds. Looks like she's taken somewhat of a step this year.
She has. Yeah. I think both she and Alyssa Copley have taken a step. Alyssa is really a very good defender for us, and she finishes fairly well around the basket as well. She's gotten a lot better. Sade has gotten a lot better. What has happened in the game, and we play them both, and whichever one of them sort of has the better start, then gets to play more. Right. And Sade has been that kid as of late. But I think both of them are going to help us, and they'll provide an inside presence for us. And I think we'll see them, their minutes improve here over time. But it's just we're just a work in progress.
Right.
All of a section of the game. A small section of the game that if we can manage that better, then that's a win instead of a loss. You hate to see those slip away because we need to get the wins when we can. And Belmont, I think, is going to be another one of those teams. And I think they play it's hard to say exactly, but I would say they're more like Bucknell than they are like Evansville. They don't press full game and that type of stuff. So.
It looked like that little part of the game was in the first period. I mean, you got off to a good start. You're up by 6, and then at the end of the quarter, you're down, and it's like once again 24 really seemed to hit the threes or however it just it seemed, you don't want to say you lose it in the first quarter, but then you're playing it from behind, and it's difficult to come back when you're playing from behind.
Yeah, and we're not explosive enough offensively to take over an 11-point deficit. That's just, we've really got to work to get that back. And, we did, I think we had it maybe to 5 or 4 right before half, and then we let 24 loose, and she hits a 3 at the buzzer. And you go in the locker room, you're down, I think we were down 7 at halftime. So, that was a blow, because 5 we could have probably managed, or 4 we could have managed, and 7 is a little bit harder for us. I mean, that's a lot more work for us, and we don't put up points quickly, so that ended up being, probably a big part of it. We started out, hitting shots really well in this game, which was not the case in Bucknell. But they did too. They shot 52% in the first half, and it was lights out for them. And then in the second half, we were able to, do a better job with containing them defensively. Even with our breakdowns, I thought we played better defense in the second half and gave ourselves a chance to win, but we couldn't hit shots.
Do you have in your mind, in your coaching staff's mind, like after seeing for a couple of games and plus the 2 preseason games, how you want to play? This is how we're going to play this year, and then you can build off that. Have you found that yet, or are you still kind of searching here?
I think we're still searching. And the 2 games that we played were so different from each other, as far as the pace of the game and the things that we faced. This is a year when we're really going to have to go game by game prepping, because we will have to really prepare for every team. Now, what do I mean by that? Just we can't just say what we ran against these guys, this other team, we're going to do against this team, because we're all so new that everything has to be put in place in order to prepare for a game. And at the same time, because we're so young and so new, it would be really valuable for us to be working on us, but we're having to spend a great deal of time working on our opponent, because there's so many things we haven't seen, that we haven't practiced against or played against, that need to be addressed. And so we have that balancing act of, do we work on us in improving what we do? Do we work on them and improving how we defend what they do? Or how do we spent a great deal of time working on the press break for Evansville, because they were going to press the whole game, and we needed to be able to handle that, or that wouldn't have been a game at all. And because of that, we got we slacked in other areas. So.